Hi there. I'm going to start my exploration of the idea with a couple of quotes from A Course in Miracles. Quote, "Fear and love are the only emotions of which you are capable. One is false, for it was made out of denial, and denial depends on the real belief in what is denied for its own existence. By interpreting fear correctly as a positive affirmation of the underlying belief it masks, you are undermining its perceived usefulness by rendering it useless. Defenses, which do not work at all, are automatically discarded. If you raise what fear conceals to clear-cut, unequivocal predominance, fear becomes meaningless. You have denied its power to conceal love, which was its only purpose. The mask which you have drawn across the face of love has disappeared." End quote. What he's saying here is twofold. First, there are really only two emotions, love and fear. And two, that actually there's really only one that's real, love. Fear is simply the absence of love, or the denial of love. And he's saying something has to be before it can be denied. That's a statement that is both logical and reasonable. And here's the second quote, which adds an interesting twist. "Joy is eternal. You can be sure indeed that any seeming happiness that does not last is really fear." Let's not kid ourselves. When we're in love with somebody, what's really happening, if we pay attention, is that we're feeling safe with that person. But not all the time. Not in most of our relationships we don't. When we're experiencing any of the negative emotions, it's because we're not feeling safe presently. This isn't because of something they're doing, it's because of what we're thinking or perceiving, which, as you're beginning to realize if you watched my earlier videos on thought vigilance, they're the same things. We experience distinct emotions like jealousy, envy, anger, sadness, and grief, but they're really just flavors of fear, like different flavors that I put in customers' malts and shakes in my first job. Furthermore, and this is where it seems to get more complex, but actually it gets simpler, all emotions, both the quote positive and the quote negative ones, which come to us as reactions to the external circumstances, are fear. This world, or this dream we're having, was constructed by the ego as a veil to hide the truth of who we are from ourselves, and furthermore to what our reality actually is, which is heaven, a changeless place of permanent love, peace, and joy. Duality is what we experience in this world. Non-duality, or sameness, is what heaven is. So in this dual world, with which we are all too familiar, we supposedly need to experience pain to understand what pleasure is, and we need darkness to understand what light is. And furthermore, we need evil to know what good is. None of that is necessary in heaven, where there is only light, where there is only sameness, comfort, and joy. If what I'm saying sounds overly complicated, you're likely trying to understand it from the vantage point of this world where differences seemingly exist. It is the ego that is trying to complicate things to keep us all feeling uncertain, unstable, and therefore unsafe. What's really happening when we're experiencing fluctuating emotions is that we're preferring certain illusions over other illusions within the dual experience of the dream, and striving to attain them through external experiences. That's happening on the level of our behavior, and this brings us back to the stream of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. What we want to do instead is find our way within the realm of the internal, and principally in the realm of our thoughts, back home to the experience of heaven, which is achieved by quieting the mind of all the noise of this world, and wanting that feeling of being home and secure in heaven more than we want anything on the menu that this world offers us. We're ordering off the regular menu. It's far easier to feel it than to think it, because frankly, it is a feeling. Reaching a consistency within our thoughts was crucial to us arriving here, but now we leave them behind, because once we're feeling it, it's beyond words. I could say it's a deep sense of knowing that I am safe and cared for, but those words don't capture the experience, because no words can. I'm mixing a lot of metaphors today, as I am prone to do, and I apologize if it's too much. My mind tends to always reach for metaphors that I hope will solidify the teaching, so here's one more. Think of it as if you were in a gigantic parking lot, looking for the car that will bring you to heaven. If you're looking in the F section, fear, you have lots of false idols to choose from, every one of them illusionary, so the promise that car offers you dissipates as you unlock the doors and start to drive away. Go to section L for love, always, where you will find a car that will bring you to that felt experience you desire. You can drive it back into this world and share it with your brothers and sisters, thereby extending love back into this world built from fear, bringing heaven back to earth. As Lesson 131 from the workbook to A Course in Miracles states, no one can fail who asks to reach the truth. If you're finding these ideas helpful, it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed. I want to express my deep gratitude to all of you who have subscribed already. I'm sorry that I don't see your names or faces because I would like to hear from you and about you. If you want to chat or share your thoughts, or if you have a question or some feedback, leave a comment below. I will do my best to respond to all of them. And you can also find me on Substack at natekokernot and at my website, miraclereadiness.com. I love you all, and thank you so much for joining me here today.